Hi everybody, let's continue with exercise number 1, and now let's push it into Excel. This is hopefully going to be especially helpful, I hope, for those of you who are newer to Excel. What I really want to encourage you to do is take your written logic that you have in a notebook, and what I tried to do was kind of mimic that off to the right. I mean, this literally is how I would solve it. It's a little messy because I was doing it on an iPad. I didn't have any nice lines to kind of use as a guidepost. But that generally reflects kind of how I would take notes, for better or worse, given my handwriting. What I want to now do is transfer it into Excel so that I have, number 1, I'll build my skill set in Excel. I'm going to practice Excel. And number 2, I will have an Excel file that I can go back to a month from now when I'm looking to study this problem for the exam. Because if you've had me before, and I'm going to mention this repeatedly, I put my homework problems into the exam. Okay, that's my question pool for the exam. So I want you all to have nice, clean notes, support for the answers that you put into the homework software. Okay, let's get started. As I proceed, I'm going to kind of layer in Excel logic, just give you sort of some imaginings as to how you can use this software. So the first thing I want to point out is that I have already put in my facts up here, okay? And actually, I'm going to insert a row here because I want to make it very clear that these are the starting facts. So I'm going to highlight on that row number 2 and right-click and then do insert, okay? And I'm going to say this is my given facts, all caps, just so that it's completely clear when I come back a month from now that, you know, this is the information that I started out with. Now, I've already created sort of the bones or the framework of what I'm gonna input. And if you notice, I've laid everything out in neat rows, and I've put my inputs from the top facts into this little table, okay? I have bolded some of what I know I need, like total income earned. You know what? I'm also gonna actually bold and shade my taxable income because I think that's important too. So I'm going to come up here and grab this formatting tool up here. So I've got these 2 key numbers here, and now I've also put in, if you notice, my bracket variables, okay? Now I circled them up here on the schedule. You can see my notes on the right. What I want to do in Excel is for every single variable I have, I want each variable to be in its own cell, and that will make more sense as we continue. Now I'm going to actually compute the tax. And what I'm going to do in cell C23, and let me actually make that yellow so it jumps out, is I'm going to do this multi-step piece of the problem that I did on paper over here. I'm going to do all in one formula. Okay? Here's how we're going to do that. I'm going to do equals, because every time we start out with a formula, we need to do equals. That tells Excel we want to compute something. And now I'm going to grab the variables that I need. I should point out I've created a little handy kind of indexing for myself. You can see A plus TI minus C times B. Now that probably didn't make any sense to you, at least initially, except what I'm going to do is point you out to, and I'm going to actually highlight this in red as well so it's easier to see. I've created the variables here, and I've labeled each variable that I need. I have an indexing. So equals taxes owed within the bracket, $4,617.50, plus, open parentheses, because I want to do some addition that's separate from the multiplication outside of it. So 4,617 plus, and what I want is taxable income minus the minimum tax within the bracket, what I'm calling the floor of the bracket, okay? So now I have that difference, okay, that I computed over here. And I want to multiply that difference times the 22%. And you can see we have the $12,290. Okay, now, another reason why it's beneficial to lay a formula out here is that what it does is it tells me what's in the cell below. That's one of the things I'm looking to do here. Again, I'm looking ahead to coming back a month from now and wanting to most efficiently and effectively jump into this logic and understand what it is that I did.